What is up, guys? This is Greg White from BeyondComics.tv coming at you live and direct to discuss how much the Terminator weighed. That's right. Was he 2,000 pounds like Schwarzenegger said on the commentary of the video? First of all, this video is dedicated to Joseph Tom Collins, who came up with this brilliant conversation that he and I had together, and we actually figured out how much the Terminator T800 or T1000 would have weighed. Actually, how much both of them would have weighed. And I'm going to tell you why this is so important, because if they did weigh 2,000 pounds, when Schwarzenegger sat on the bike, he would have crushed the bike. If he took every step, it would crush most of the wooden floors in the bar that he was in. So the sheer mass and weight would have destroyed his surroundings, and that would have made it impossible for him to utilize any human type of things. Even when he's riding in the elevator, it can't sustain that much weight necessarily with other people in it. So there's a lot of examples that were given, but how was he strong enough to break through walls and to, be so powerful and not be able to be damaged when he gets shot? So the key is in the metal alloy that's used in his body, right? Excuse me, I'll be back. That whole kind of punch to his power and everything like that. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this on a side note, but I'm going to tell you in a moment where he got his voice from and the look from for the T800 design in the movie. There's a deleted scene, which I'll talk about later, that was not released until you got the Blu-ray edition. So I'll tell you that at the end of this video. But right now, discussing the weight and how we came to that decision, guess what? I'm going to give you guys a guess. Okay, you have 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. How much did he weigh? The answer is not more than 275 pounds. Why? Okay, because his body weight had to be that of a human, so he could pass as human, and so that he could literally function on human equipment, such as the motorcycle, sitting on a bar stool, standing without crushing his feet through the floors, and things like this. But how did he get his power and his strength? The key is in, again, like I said before, the metal alloy. It's not a normal alloy. It's not a steel or a normal human metal. It's actually something far more greater. It's an advanced scientific, almost, if you will, alien-like metal that they use called this metal alloy. So, it's not alien, it's totally invented by the secret military, as you saw with the scientist who creates it. But it's very interesting because in trying to figure it out, I also always would think, hey, wait a minute, he's got to be a few thousand pounds because he's so strong, and it takes so much to destroy a Terminator. But because this is kind of like a brand new technology, a new invention of metal, there's no reason why it couldn't be lightweight and incredibly durable and strong. Some of you guys can actually check in reality the Shear thickening fluid, which is a bulletproof material that it's like a liquid that you dunk material into, and upon ballistic impact, the properties harden and lock together to make it completely indestructible. It's amazing. It's too expensive. I was talking to some police officers the other day about why they aren't wearing that to protect them, and I'm talking about good police officers, good cops, honest people that I know, not corrupt stuff that you may hear rumors about, but good guys who really try to help people and donate their time and give to charities, and good guys. So for the good cops that I was speaking to, and they really risk their lives out there. What was sickening is that the department will not allow them, listen to that, to get their own body armor, and they will not allow them to get any kind of upgrades because they don't want to spend money on it. So it's more cost effective for them to risk the life of the police officer than to protect them properly, which is insane. That's insane that they're putting the cost value of money higher than the life of the individual who's risking his life to save many, right? I write about that in my comic book, Codename Justice, that I'm working on right now. We just finished the screenplay, 120 pages, but it's very serious, you know? And we use that shear thickening fluid to drench the armor to make it bulletproof. So it's very important to kind of put these realistic elements into that to kind of educate people what's really going on. But anyway, I don't want to veer too much. The whole point is that, you know, there is material that does exist that could protect people, that's very lightweight but has the strength. So that's the T800 and the T1000 material. Obviously something like that, or a future version of it, that they utilize. So it's lightweight, very strong, very powerful, can completely, you know, crash and crush through things, and the harder the impact is, the stronger it becomes during that impact, just like the shear thickening fluid comes together with the particles and hardens upon impact and then loosens again when the impact's over. So it's kind of a very interesting kind of dynamic to try to put as much reality to the fantasy of the films that we can, because it kind of helps make it a little bit more intriguing and more powerful and more fun, the more realistic and plausible some of those types of films could potentially become. And it's interesting to see like artificial intelligence and how Knight Rider had the talking car, and that was unheard of, and now they actually have GPS talking cars and things like that for real. So very kind of fun, and I love the fact that comic books have influenced reality so much so that it's inspired engineers, designers, inventors to create the real things, such as Dick Tracy's fictional video watch from 1940s, which is now completely a real thing. People are walking around with their little Apple Watches and having video chats on Skype right on their watch. It's mind-blowing that all of this became real. Anyway, guys, this is comic book artist, writer, and director Greg White from BeyondComics.tv. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and post your comments below. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with what I said about the T800 and T1000 being not really more than about 275 pounds, the weight of a real human being? You know, I mean, they could probably even get away with being like 300 plus pounds maximum, but that's kind of, you know, it can't be too much more than that, because again, they would crush some of the weight of some of the lighter things that you see the T800 walking on and utilizing throughout the movies. Also, before I forget, very important, the creation of the T800. Why does he look the way he looks, like Schwarzenegger? Why does he sound, the way he sounds like Schwarzenegger? Why? So in Terminator 3, where he fights the female Terminator, there is a deleted scene, and I really suggest you guys watch it on YouTube or get the DVD or Blu-ray and check it out. It is the greatest freaking scene, but for those of you who haven't seen it, all of the people, this takes place in the 1980s, okay? It was filmed, obviously, only a few years ago when Terminator 3 came out, which I guess it was about 10 years ago. I can't believe it's so long. But what happens, they're all sitting in the 1980s in the underground secret government, you know, federal, you know, secret agency department. And the lights are very low. And there's this guy who's talking kind of like this, and he's the head of the military. And he's saying, now listen everybody, we have to put out these robots and we got to make them our new military robotic team. And it's a big, strong commander guy talking. But his voice is very kind of like this. Sounds kind of like almost a stereotypical kind of southerny kind of thing to his voice. It's really funny. And then they have the financiers of the project there, and they have some of the people, the programmers and the financiers, you know, who are funding the project there. So they green light the T800, and they decide. They said, well, what should he look like? And they said, well, we're going to make him look like you, Commander. And then the light shines on the military commander with the high, kind of southerny, kind of, you know, cartoony voice, and it's Schwarzenegger as an American southern, you know, military commander who just happens to have a really goofy kind of voice the way he's speaking in this movie. So he's kind of, they really exaggerated the voice. It was very funny. But that's how the Terminators got their look. He had a mustache though in the thing. But they basically made all the Terminators, the T-800s, look like the military commander. But they said, yeah, but we got to do something about his voice. And then the head financier, programmer guy, or whatever he was, is like, yes, I agree, we should change the voice. I'll handle it. And it's like this little thin guy with glasses who speaks like Schwarzenegger, So they combined his voice, right, with Schwarzenegger's look, which was the commander's look of the military, and then bang, put it together, and you have the T800. So it was a very cute homage, a great scene. It was a really, I thought it was brilliant, and it really filled in a question that everybody had, which is why did the T800 look like that? And that's the answer. That's how it came about. So the T800 was actually a compilation, if you will, of the military commander's look and the a business guy's voice put together. Really, really cute scene. Definitely watch it. Check it out. Let me know if you guys again agree with the comment that I made earlier about why the T800 would weigh kind of not too much differently than a human being who looks like that in that size. And do you agree with that? So post your comments below. Make sure to subscribe for updates. Thanks for watching, and check out my next video, which discusses what are midichlorians and how they have nothing to do with somebody being a Jedi or a Sith or their superpowers. It's really interesting. I'll tell you that breakdown next. Thanks for watching, guys. Greg White from BeyondComics.tv saying, signing out and to be continued. Peace.